Hey guys, and welcome to 14.17 full patch preview. In this patch we are gonna have 7 champion buffs, 13 champion nerfs, and also few nerfs to runes and items, like Warmogs. And for this video I'm gonna be using splash arts instead of recording from PBE as usual, because the changes aren't there on PBE yet. Okay, so let's get started. Caitlyn attack speed ratio got a little increase, and then Caitlyn W recharge time got reduced, at rank 1 by 4 seconds, and when it's maxed by 2 seconds. Riot is making these changes because they realized that Caitlyn hasn't been present in the meta for a while. Now let's have a look at buffs to Graves and Kindred, because Riot wants to bring back AD junglers to the meta. His Q initial wave damage is buffed, at rank 1 it's gonna be the same, but the scaling is gonna be 5 damage per each level more, so you will end up with 20 more damage when it's maxed. Furthermore, the cooldown is reduced by 0.25 seconds with each rank. At first rank it's gonna be same, 13 seconds, but when you max this ability, it's gonna be 1 second shorter cooldown. Now it's time for Kindred. Riot has realized that Kindred is pretty weak, especially after the nerf to Kraken, so they are buffing her. Her Q, the bonus attack speed, got increased from 30% to 35%, and then her E damage got increased. At rank 1 it's gonna be the same, but then each level up is gonna be 10 more damage. So when you max it, you're gonna have 40 more damage. Furthermore, the bonus AD scaling got increased from 80% to 100%. And the cooldown of this ability also got reduced. At rank 1 it's the same, but with each level up it's gonna be decreased by half a second, so when you max it, the cooldown is gonna be 8 seconds instead of 10. Now let's have a look at some mage buffs. Riot wants to buff Lissandra utility and lane presence. For Ryze they want to buff him because he's been weak for quite a while, and TF because he has been pretty lackluster recently. Time for some Lissandra buffs. First, her Q base damage got increased, rank 1 is the same, but with each level up you're gonna have 5 more damage, so 20 more damage when you max it. And then her ult slow got increased, at rank 1 it's gonna be 45% instead of 30%, and at rank 2 it's gonna be 60% instead of 52.5%. Now time for Ryze. Q base damage got increased by 5 at all ranks, and then his ult cooldown got reduced, at rank 1 by 30 seconds, at rank 2 by 20 seconds, and at rank 3 by 10 seconds. Twisted Fate. His Q base damage got increased, at rank 1 it's gonna be the same, but then each level up is gonna give him 5 more damage, so when you max it, you're gonna have 20 more damage. Then there are changes to Varus. The scaling for Varus Q is gonna be changed. Instead of scaling with total AD, it's gonna be scaling with bonus AD, but of course the base values are gonna be compensated. These changes are targeted to nerf his tank builds and buff the other builds. Furthermore, his E bonus AD ratio is gonna be increased from 90% to 110%. Now let's have a look at some champion nerfs. Let's start with Ashe. Her base HP got reduced from 640 to 610. Then the nerfs to Aurora. Her ult damage got decreased by 25 at rank 1, by 50 at rank 2, and by 75 at rank 3. Then we got Brand, who got nerfs to his passive. The monster damage over time per tick got reduced from 80 to 30, and then the monster explosion damage got changed from being uncapped to 250, 325, 400, and 475 based on levels 1, 6, 11, and 16. Nerfs to Brand and also later on Lillia are targeted to nerf some AP junglers, in particular the ones that use Fated Ashes the best. Then we have a little nerf to Ezreal. His base AD got reduced from 62 to 60. Then we have nerf to Katarina passive. Her AP ratio got reduced by 10 percentage points at all ranks. Then we have nerf to Kennen. His Q AP ratio got reduced from 85% to 75%. Riot thinks that Kennen is a little bit too strong right now. Then we have nerfs to Leblanc. As Riot is saying, they think Leblanc is too strong, especially in higher elos, so they decided to nerf her. Her QAP ratio got reduced from 45% to 40%, and her WAP ratio got reduced from 75% to 70%. Then we have Lillia passive. Her passive damage per 3 seconds to non-epic monsters got reduced from 70, 150 to 70, 100. This is a pretty big reduction, especially in the higher levels. Then we have a nerf to Pyke. His base armor got reduced from 47 to 43. Then there is nerf to the Rumble passive. When overheated, the target maximum HP on hit got reduced from 6% to 5%. Then we have nerfs to Senna. What a surprise, her AP builds were too strong. Then her heal scaling is reduced. It's gonna be the same at rank 1, but then it's gonna be decreased by 5 with each rank up. And then the AP scaling got reduced from 80% to 60%. And then her ult shield AP ratio got reduced from 70% to 50%. Then Riot also realized that Seraphine has been too strong for quite a while, so they decided to nerf her W. The base shield scaling is reduced by 5 with each level up, so when you max it, it's gonna have 20 shield less. Then the cooldown is also increased. It used to be 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, but now it's gonna be flat 22 seconds. So it's a pretty big nerf to the ability. Then there is nerf to Sylas. He got buffed, but he's already getting nerfed. The AP ratio got reduced from 70% to 60%. Then let's have a look at some system nerfs to runes and items. And let's start with Absorb Life. And to be honest, Riot has pretty much killed Absorb Life. The nerfs the Absorb Life got are pretty crazy. You can see the value changes on the screen right now. The heal on level 1 and level 18 is gonna be the same, but in the meantime the scaling got hit super hard. Then there's the Cut Down nerf. The target HP threshold got increased from 50% to 60%, which is pretty funny because recently it got decreased from 60% to 50%, but okay, let's go back I guess. Then there is a pretty significant nerf to Fleet Footwork. The heal got reduced. It used to be 120 when maxed, it's gonna be 100 when maxed. So at rank 1 it's gonna be the same, but then with each level up it's gonna be nerfed a little. And then bonus movement speed got reduced from 20% to 15%, and also the duration of it got nerfed from 1 second and a quarter to just 1 second. Then we have the nerf to support item, the Celestial Opposition. The slow got reduced from 60% to 50%, and the duration of the slow got also decreased from 2 seconds to 1.5 seconds. Then finally, there is a pretty big nerf to Warmog's armor. The cost got increased from 3100 to 3300, and the bonus movement speed got reduced from 10% to 5%. This is a very big nerf to Warmogs, especially targeted at tank supports who are just rushing this item first. So this is it for the changes this patch. Let me know what you think about them. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.